the series,
I 100% agree, Medic.
We both watched
the gameplay earlier today was a 3-0 win for us.
That is a code, by the way. Kobe, just in case you're wondering. We're in the draft. BLG on the blue side, T1 on the red. T1 will have first pick. BLG will be, as we said, on the blue side, as that's where they've selected. They're going to get rid of the Orianna. We're going to have Varus and Vayne taken away by T1.
Okay, so they're really taking a lot of the range matchups out of top lane. The Varus, of course, also the flex pick that can be played up there too.
I mean, are you just trying to give Doran something that he can survive?
I mean, that would play into my idea about split jungle.
Yeah,
so
play the bot side.
Give Doran something he can survive on. Try and do a jungle invade to split jungle for vertical. And go from there.
And still have things like the Scion available through this. It's Doran's second most played. Also things like, obviously, Cassante, if you want to just play tanks. We'll have the Nocturne taken away by T1. Last time we saw Xin Xiao as well, removed by BLG. So, I'm sure Oner would be very happy to get his hands on that. There's the Rumble. So where are T1 going? Obviously, you don't have to first pick your top laner. There's a lot of options still available for you if you want to go down that tank route. Scion, Ornn, Cassante, all options.
Also, since we're getting deeper and deeper, I really want to see either of these mid laners lock in Akali. I always wait until super and later in Fearless, but I think Akali is very strong right now. And so once you start to get some of the mid lane champions out of there, I'm always down for that. But let's see what they decide to mix up. First priority here, Jarvan is still on the table. So Jarvan locked in first for Oner. I mean, now BLG looking at what kind of carries can we get that have decent mobility that Cataclysm won't find too much value against. And a lot of the ones with mobility actually have been taken off the table.
I mean, we've already seen things like the Ezreal taken away in terms of safe AD carries as well.
Here we go.
Is it Caitlyn Lux?
Is it time to play through bottom lane? BLG say, all right, we're going to beat you to the punch. You know what? We're going to throw a Caitlyn lane here for Viper. And when BLG do this, they do throw resources to bottom lane. So Caitlyn Elise is my favorite iteration of it, but you can do Caitlyn plus so many things for dive. Caitlyn, Lux, Caitlyn. Wait a second. Are we actually going to lock in a Shindelly? That also would be pretty fun. But nope, definitely going to need a good front line for them as well.
And technically, like Skarner, it's a flex. It's a flex. We've seen On bring out the Skarner support once already. And will he do it again? Unlikely, I think. I think Skarner just works well in terms of getting towards the bot lane, enabling dives as well. Very good at diving. It's Skarner, especially with that Ishtar's impact and the Impale. T1 going to answer. I mean, Mel?
Yeah, this has been their answer into these. Mel plus what, though? Is it going to be like Pyke, Keria?
They do like Mel Pyke.
Would pose a lot of burst damage threats.
Could look Seraphine as well.
I mean, both Nautilus and Camille are off the table.
Yeah.
So.
It depends if you want engage from your support, like hard CC, like as you say, or if you want to go for something that just play on the back line. Pyke, very strong, obviously, in Keria's hands. In everyone else's hands, not as powerful. Keria can just dominate a game on this pick.
T1 Pyke. Okay. Mel Pyke. They're definitely very, very good at it. Some of the combos with Caitlyn, okay, getting some mouse overs, some hover overs. Is it going to be the recon into the Pyke? I mean,
it's fine.
There's my favorite. There we go. Right back to it.
Better.
That's the first thing that we mentioned. The Elise Caitlyn, the classic.
Okay.
They can try and get the dives off. Elise so good. Repel for dropping tower aggro. I mean, the Spiderling's pretty nice against Pyke as well. When you're trying to walk away, walk some bone skewers. And you can get those devastating combinations. If you can hit your cocoon into trap combinations from Caitlyn.
Pyke's just dead at that point, right? You do not have the health bar to survive through that, especially as Pyke. And then you have Skarner there for the follow-up as well. Skarner locks someone in place, cocoon on top of it, or you cocoon, and Skarner comes in. There's so much CC and so much Continuous CC already out from BLG. Twisted Fate will get taken away
Oh, yeah.
by BLG.
If our bot lane's going to be a war zone, then it's not fair for your mid laner to have a Twisted Fate.
Especially when BLG wouldn't have an easy way to answer it, right? You can't get the rise for Realm Warp.
Silas is up, though. So you can do some Silas angle, but they decided to ban Twisted Fate anyway, so.
That does make sense.
And I don't get via Kali, no!
I was going to say you could have Kali into the TF, because when he Destinies, you shuriken him and then fly with him across the map, but I think our pontification on how do you deal with TF if you're playing as BLG doesn't really need to go any further, as Akali now taken away by T1. We're going to continue to see mid lane bans. That's the question. Is BLG... after those top lane bans, we've yet to see a top laner locked in. And the Varus and the Vayne getting taken away. Still a lot of options for Bin. Olaf removed by BLG.
Let's see. For mid lane, I mean, he still is like a Nivea floating around, Talia floating around, Faker's Lissandra as an answer. We'll see. The Ahri is still up too.
True. It was banned in the last game.
Knight Ahri.
So we see the Silas from T1. BLG here.
Oh, Knight Ahri looking even better then. Silas down too.
I mean, it's who you blind, right? Do you blind mid or do you blind top? I think mid may be slightly safer. There's also the possibility this Mel is flex. I doubt it.
They could flex it, actually. That would be annoying.
Yeah, I doubt it. But
Aurora side of it, yeah.
Aurora,
all right, even better. And that puts pressure on bottom lane too. Aurora very, very good at roaming.
Not Knight's best champion, though. He does struggle on this. He's only won one game of the 4 that he's played. I think both the mid laners in this best of 5 do struggle with that Aurora from time to time. Now where will T1 go?
Does Faker just want to play the Ahri into it, or is he going to cook a little? Because he definitely could. Cassante first. Okay, so that gives him some frontline and some actual structure. Is he actually just going to go more burst with like a Ahri Lissandra type of champion, or do we need something more consistent? Into the Aurora, you don't have a lot of options because Aurora can be a painful laner, so you can't get too creative.
Yeah, it's also like, where do you look for consistency? Like Azir, but that's really fallen off.
Yeah, it's just the Ahri.
Yep, Ahri makes sense. And now we'll see Bin's answer to Cassante. Still has
Gwen. Okay, no, so looking at the solo queue, he's been throwing a couple extra games with Gwen in there.
Oh,
these are similar ideas here. Mordekaiser.
Nah, it's gonna be Gwen. It has to be, right?
I mean, this is what he's been playing more in solo queue for his solo queue account. So Gwen did get those nice little buffs back up to try and get her back in the meta. They wanted her more back in MSI meta, and now we finally do get her at MSI.
In terms of solo lanes, a Bin on the Gwen will eventually run over a Cassante and an Ahri, really, when you think about it. For the Aurora, again, if she gets ahead, Ahri does have the ability to Spirit Rush away, but it's tricky to escape the Between Worlds.
I gotta say, unless the T1 bottom lane does some stuff on bottom pretty early, like some spicy stuff, they get some kills. I like the overall look from the comp from BLG. T1, though, they've got a lot of playmaking here. A lot of playmaking. And Oner on Jarvan has options. You can go mid. You can go bottom. I think definitely to go talk like what we were talking about before. Just don't go top. Just go bottom, I mean, Doran, he's playing Cassante into Gwen, but like
he can join up with you later
if you can get like some pressure from mid and actually stop Knight from taking over and stop the centerpiece of this BLG team, and then you can try and transfer that down to the bottom lane, and that could be a pathway to keep the series going. Or BLG could just take this one. They have looked very, very good
in their wins. They have looked so dominant.
Even the first game, that was quite close.
Yeah, and it was a T1 magic. We were talking about it in the game. T1 so often just find that way to get back in that small window of opportunity, and perhaps that's Keria's Pyke. He is so special on this champion. There's a reason he's got a world skin, and I'll say this best of 5, I think Keria has been pretty muted overall. I think he's been pretty quiet, hasn't had the best of series. Now looking to see if perhaps he can skewer on as that spider steps forward. Bone skewer in, repel up from Oner, and they turn on to Peyz immediately. Flash across the wall from Viper. Peyz just can't escape. It's all gone pear-shaped for T1 in the bot lane at level 1.
On is so ready for that. Did you see that? Zero hesitation. He is so ready for that. Immediately into spider form, into repel right on top of you, gets the ignite, and now he gets a cocoon onto Keria.
Repels up. I mean, you have 2 skills at level 1 as the Elise, right? You have the repel and you have the cocoon.
There's a reason I said this is my favorite iteration with the Caitlyn, Elise. Oh my goodness, this combo is crazy. And BLG, I mean, they were always even doing this even with Elkanon. And continuing with the success. Knight as well, good fit. Oh my goodness, good trade onto Faker.
Incredible trade there from Knight. As we see Bin dashing away from Doran on the top side, and that is devastating for T1. 700 gold down at 2 minutes into the game. Riftband's new set coming out on the 31st of July. You can grab yourself that Ahri Inquisitive, a super special alternate art that can be found in packs.
Medic?
Yeah?
Last game, all the BLG lanes were pushing and winning, and this game we're 2 minutes in, and all the BLG lanes are pushing and winning. So the story looks very similar.
Knight has overtaken Gala as well for international kills. He's at 580 to Gala's 563. On his way to try and chase down Bin and Oner, but see, with Bin being on the same team as Knight, it's going to be hard for him, because then Bin will be like, hey man, I really need this kill because I have to stay ahead of you on the leaderboard, and Knight will be like, please sir, I need my Darksteel stacks. And yeah, that's the battle that I'm sure is happening in the middle of BLG right now. I'm sure.
Meanwhile, Bin focused on tower plate money. Give me that money. Trying to work through the first one here. Gets it very, very close.
Won't quite tick over. Expect to see a focus fortune towards getting those grubs early on, especially if they want this Gwen to continue to push in.
Yeah, I mean, that matchup, I mean, it is brutal. Bin is just going to decimate him up there. Already with massive CS lead, working for turret plate money. Bottom side too.
Ghostwater dive, doesn't find the CC chain. On has to flash away with Oner on the way across. Triple snap trap from Viper as Oner eats one, Keria eats the other, but it's the summoner down for the Elise as we see Doran resetting. Has himself a helm he made himself, and now TP's back in. Refillable? Oh no, gets a null magic mantle, so a little bit alongside that refillable at least.
There you go, okay. The defensive starter kit.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the pain is going to continue up there.
The pain's continuing it everywhere, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess Peyz has been able to even out things.
Yeah, bot lane's chill. They could definitely clap back, and they had Oner path down there, and they left a bunch of Vision. You see all these wards here around the bottom lane too. You know, they very well know they're going to need to make something happen. Mid lane is getting pushed in as well, but Faker doing a lot better in CS. Hasn't dropped too many here. So Knight only has a small lead over him compared to the rest.
Only about 50 gold, and we're still only 4.5 minutes in, right? The explosiveness of the level
Keria is going mid though. Pyke a little bit of a roam timer. I think he was seen by that ward. So Knight could waste a little bit of his time.
Go in with that Phantom Undertow. Looks like the reset is just going to finish up. And Shun just doing his razor beaks for now. Means that Peyz walks into the lane unaided by any support for now, as On is just waiting in that bush to see if Peyz does overstep. If there's only On there, the rebuttal a very good tool for Peyz to avoid the cocoon and the CC and turn it around. Of course, if there's a little bit more CC there, then it becomes harder to get your rebuttal down in time. As Bin has hit level 6, has that needle work and begins to snip his way through Doran. Does have the Intofos, but look at the damage from the 1,000 cuts. Bin with the needlework, and Doran, well, it's just sewed up in the top lane. Great flash from Bin, Doran overstays.
Doran down, level 6 to level 5. Bin chooses his moment, goes in with the needlework. Bot lane, I was going to say too, you know, Oner was hovering around bottom lane to try and make a counter play here, but no move opened up, and so it's just been domination, the story of this game.
And Oner's not on his way up there. Oner
No,
is not bailing you out.
He's
dude.
still
Like,
bottom.
yeah,
he was hovering last time for the whole play, and then does the grump and comes on back.
The question is, like, can T1 get enough of an advantage over here? There's the cocoon with the repel. And there's some great damage from Peyz as T1 are able to lock up that Elise. It's the issue if that initial bit of CC doesn't hit and you repel up. Oh, great flash as well with the Phantom Undertow and the Ghost Water dive. The flash EQ combo as well from Oner. A moment ago I asked, can T1 find enough in bot? They give us a resounding answer.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Exactly what we asked for the bottom lane. They make it happen. They force on really early there to go for the repel, and they know exactly where he's going to land. Only one extra option there. They get the early kill, and then Keria flashes in.
Oner gets the smite. Gets level 6 out of it as well.
Yeah. Oner and Keria, though, they both don't have their flashes from the bot lane play where they were just able to get those kills. And so could get a little bit dangerous. Shin's going to know, hey, on, let's go. Counter jungle him. And let's take another look at it. So they start out here looking at On against the wall here on the Elise. With the rebuttal on the cocoon, then he just goes over to the middle of the lane. They're able to answer this one. And then Keria's like, all right, waiting. Cooldowns are ready. Where's his angle? There he goes in, flashes to make sure the stun hits, can pull him back. And then even though Peyz, Viper's able to, wait a second.
Oh, Cataclysm in from Oner. Goes for the dive as well with Phantom Undertow from Keria. Peyz on a killing spree. Meanwhile, Oner falling low, gets taken out by the weirding. Knight needs to run, and T1 are on the chase.
He's trying to get over to Bin, but I don't know. Keria and Doran trying to close the door here. Bin wants to get those minions into the tower to allow Knight an area to walk out.
Shun is level 6 as well. This is dangerous for Keria. Knight tries to go between worlds across the veil, dashes away. There's the weirding as well for the damage, and Knight can just, as you say, flash out the back. Peyz flashing forward though, rocket bounce! Unfortunately for him, the Eclipse not enough, not golden enough for him to secure that kill, while Faker uses the Spirit Rush in the mid lane. As Viper and On push in. Bot lane abandoned by both these teams as Grub's the target for BLG.
Yeah, everybody roams up for the action here, and the long chase on Knight does not even afford the extra kill to T1. Peyz trying to answer there, had his proto belt done. Almost was able to get enough damage, but not quite. And On's Rico gets interrupt. That's going to be interesting for bot lane because it's going to push in afterwards. So it started out with the red buff invade. We saw as Shun and On already took away the Raptors, but Keria and Peyz got to reset and come for the fight. So here we go. The initial play again was on to On, forcing the repel early, and then they go for the follow-up play to burst him down.
Yeah. Shun missing the flash Istal's impact as well means that he's nowhere near the fight. He's a mile away. And because of that, T1 are able to turn it around. Look at that bot lane as well. 1,000 gold lead for Peyz after he died at level 1 before minions had even crashed in the wave. Keria and Oner spending so much time down here, really helping out. On trying to step forward. Do they know Keria's here? Solar Snare comes out as the tower, the Drake goes over to Oner. Flash away from On. Keria now running with that Ghost Water dive, heals up. Knight looking for top lane as Doran his target. Shun is here as well. Doran's got to do a lot of work to survive through this one. Shun with the Ishtar's impact across the wall. They'll put down the Hallowed Mist and impale onto Doran, and enough needles to send him back to the fountain. Meanwhile, on the bot side, On and Viper now need to decide, do you stick or do you run away? Do you stay or do you live to fight another day? As good damage from the Spiderling. Cataclysm onto the backline. Viper able to walk away from the flag and drag combo with a TP coming in. Solar Snare only finds one Peyz. Down to about half HP. Good rebuttal on Ignited. And Knight just here to save him. Golden Eclipse not enough, even with the Ignite ticking onto On. They didn't have those overwhelmed stacks.
Yeah, T1, they get the teleport and look at mid lane. Faker's able to push that in. Faker's going to have a roam timer. He could try and answer somewhere else. Top lane's recalling already, though, so not going to afford much except for that turret plate pressure. And the teleport cooldown from Knight here. I mean, T1 play it nicely. They know BLG have 2 teleports available to them, and they don't overcommit to the tower dive. As soon as they see the single teleport, immediately they back off. They land their combination onto On, and they draw it out. So, Dragon advantage for T1. it's really just this bin giga gold lead up there.
Yeah. But there's a massive gold lead for Peyz in the Coinbase gold grind down towards that bottom lane as well. 1,000 gold ahead. As you say, you can really see the schism between the two teams. It's like, how far ahead can Bin get and how far ahead can Peyz get? And we'll see when the two meet, which one of them is the stronger, which one of the teams is able to play around them better. Grubs, looks like the third one is going to get taken by Shun. It's the orbital deception, just short there from Faker.
Yeah.
Knight walked away.
And even with Knight having that kill and assists from earlier, Faker got so much alone time to push in those minion waves and get those tower plates. He's actually ahead in gold himself on this Ahri. Him, Oner, and Keria looking for the constant invades to get the division to set up their next play. Meanwhile, I mean, anytime the camera's topside, it's going to be more pain for Doran.
Yes.
He's doing what you have to do, though. You just giga stack your magic resist. Try and get to your Kinnick Rooker as quickly as you possibly can so you can play into Knight and into Bin and try and use that replenishing shield over and over. Keria!
It looks good onto Viper. Death from below. Keria finds him. Shares the love, shares the gold around.
And Peyz predicts it there. Really nice with the snare, so they instantly delete Viper. Caitlyn down, flash gone from him as well. And guess what? Who's got the bigger gold lead now? Peyz is able to add a bunch of extra gold on top of it. They delete the bottom lane again. These teams have drawn the line in the sand. It is top lane for BLG, and it is bot lane, bot lane, bot lane for T1.
As BLG tried to match that bot lane pressure in the early game, but weren't able to do it. This Caitlyn Elise is when they play for bot. 77% win rate on the Caitlyn. They know how to play through Viper, even if he's not the key focus of this team most of the time. But here, T1 have just stymied that. They've suffocated this Caitlyn out of the game. And now Faker looking for the chase on tonight with the Spirit Rush. Charm doesn't connect. A Bone Skewer just whistles behind Knight.
Meanwhile, topside, Dorn's getting zoned off. Yeah, thank you, observers. Tower's going to go down in favor of Bin. That is first tower bonus for him. Mid lane, though.
Flag and drag in from Oner. Cataclysm down. On goes into the sky. Shun with a goodish does impact on Keria. It's still going to get rooted up. And now that Skarner has no place to go. Peyz with a double. T1 have come to life in game 4.
The critical difference. T1 choose the battlefield. They choose it around Peyz. Do not fight around Doran. Just abandon top lane. He's got his Gainic Rooker. And he's going to run. And he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, continue to fight around Peyz. Continue to choose the battlefield that is to your advantage. They get the kill onto the Elise immediately, and then they can follow it up with the other. Well, is a scorpion not an arachnid? I know that's technical,
close enough,
difference. It's got a lot of legs.
Yeah.
So they kill the other one too.
A doctor, not a biologist, damn it, you know. Anyway, close enough. As the Scorpion has definitely lost its sting, and this Spider's Venom not doing any damage at all to T1. A 3,000 gold lead for Peyz. I will say, still, Bin is matching as much as he can through the top side. We'll have another look at this play in mid.
Okay, so they go mid around Peyz, and it's actually, you know, On trying to go for a play onto Peyz again, and they immediately punish him. Wait around for him to come down, and then bob side of your screen, Keria and Faker, they can just lock up this Skarner. Double kill for Peyz. As you say, though, Bin off screen, still getting richer and richer and richer.
But how much can you do when the fight really begins? He has that
I've seen Gwen's do a whole lot.
I have
with
too.
With that going untargetable deal, that is annoying.
That Hallowed Mist can do quite a bit, but I wonder if he is going to be stymied on his way, you know? Because a Pyke can get quite close to you before they use the Bone Skewer. A Jarvan can Cataclysm on top of you, and then you haven't got your skip and slash, and you're not skipping nor your slashing.
It's always so hard because you kind of have to like play an in and wait a second. How long are they going to go for this? Keria's on the way.
As is Peyz. Bin only has the plate of steel caps, now with TP in from T1, they are collapsing on the top side, and Bin might be done. Good flash, but the flash and Topos brings him back, and they bury him in the lane where he had such dominance.
Okay, well, they choose the battlefield, and now it's around mid 2, and they bring 4 members. T1, they overload the top side. Now they're going to transfer pressure towards mid. Peyz, can he hit it?
Oner had to flash away from the Impale. Cataclysm came in as well. The Solar Slayer, the Snare did not connect. But we did see On flashing out of its clutches. Rift Herald available for T1. Knight just hasn't really been involved in the game as much as he'd like so far, pushing through that bot side, trying to get some gold back for himself.
T1, great, the strength, the playmaking, they move around the map, forcing these plays, getting that kill onto Bin to try and keep him in check. He's not quite at his 2 items yet because he upgraded his boots and he gets locked in again!
Bin locked up, and where can you go? X marks the spot. T1, they changed the battlefield to top lane. They said Bin is the only one ahead. Let's make it not so much longer. As Doran comes in and steal any of that away. Maybe took the Gromp, didn't quite see. You can see the swing in T1's favor. And now a 2.5k gold lead. And they are doing such a good job, as you've said a couple of times, picking where they want. Making their own terms of engagement and saying, hey, BLG, you don't just get to rule the map. We're going to find places where we can outnumber you, and then we're going to outclass you.
Yeah. Doran, the humble top laner. He's like, fine, I play Cassante. I will stack a bunch of magic resistance. I will be weak side, and eventually I'll get a turret plate myself. And he's chopping down on that gold lead because Bin keeps getting targeted, taken off the map, and Doran, he's going to get a little bit in response.
And he's just... You don't need to be gold rich as a Cassante. Your items, you just want tanks. You just want a couple of tank items. You don't need 4 or 5. Obviously it helps, but you just want to be a tank later on in the game. Oner looking for Knight now, who does spot him out with the Oracles. Next Drake's still 2.5 minutes away, but the first 2 have gone to T1 as Oner gets the smite on the Crux. To force Shun to only accept those little ones. Shun has 2 items though, very cheap ones, Protoplasm Harness and the Vandal Pipes.
I mean, yeah, jugglers love stealing away some support items. Yeah. Those things are made so cheap. Bin under attack again.
And the dash away. Faker holding that second Spirit Rush. They'll jump in for Bin. Hallowed Miss dodges the charm, locked against the wall though, and this is without Peyz even here. The Fed carry for T1 is not needed to take down the Fed carry for BLG.
And I mean, yeah, they don't even have a tower up there anymore. Yes, BLG do technically get to push mid, but...
Phantom Undertow. Sorry, Ghost would have dived in from Keria as Peyz is already killed off on. Ishtar's Impact will get the knock back. So they look for the Phantom Overtow but can't quite land it, but there's the Solar Snare, and Shun allergic to the sunlight. A golden eclipse as Keria finds another. Viper trying to walk away, but a flag and a drag will pull him 6 feet under. T1 are dominating BLG.
In game number 4, it is T1 setting the pace, and BLG can't keep up. Bin was out there in no man's land. They didn't have pressure on the other side of the map. They didn't even have a tower left up there anymore. And so T1 target him again, and again. They put him in the dirt, and then they rotate over to get the rest of BLG. And now it's T1's turn to snowball. Medic, we've got another epic best of 5 on our hands here. If T1 can actually finish this one out, they will push us to a silver scrapes here. Another silver scrapes.
2 in 2 days.
At MSI.
I love it.
It would be epic. They still have some work to do, but they're all set up to do it.
Oh, Keria with the bone skewer. Runs away with the Ghost Water Dive, but he has been so on point finding these, also getting this vision in. That's not spotted out by On. There's a control ward down towards below the red buff. Next Drake up in 10 seconds time. Soul point for T1. BLG scrambling, trying to find a way back into this game. Almost 2 items on Bin. The Nash's Tooth not quite there yet. Viper still sitting only on the Hex Optics. Fitting for Caitlyn, of course, that sniper rifle, but really needs more. Because you look at Peyz, and Peyz almost has a hat. And Faker already has his first needlessly large rod if he's going towards that Rabadon's. BLG cannot contest. It will be soul point for T1. A Cloud Soul alongside it. And with Keria on this Pyke, I would be very scared of them picking up that soul.
World Finals 2024, we were treated to all 5. And here, T1 with 3 dragons and a 5K gold lead. They look like they are steps away from trying to treat us again. BLG, though.
What do you do if you're BLG? How do you find a way back in?
Well, they're going to need to force a team fight here. They can't allow T1 to keep picking them apart across the map. Problem is, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
When T1 already have the vision control and they've got roaming around Pyke there with Keria, and then Oner and Faker constantly popping out from the jungle. Deathcap also just completed for Peyz, so he's got massive 3-item power spike damage. He's coming from the base right now. The lead for T1 right now is just basically at the breaking point. One more thing, and it's just going to be overwhelming.
Battle Herald comes down from Oner as they look for the charge towards the bottom side. Bin dashes to the side of the bone skewer, but still that charge is going to come in. Bin going forward
here, though.
Onto him. Shun looking for the Ishtar's impact onto Peyz, who rocket belts away. Oner trying to protect his Bin, dies towards the bottom side to the death from below, and now Peyz with the Cataclysm there can just rain down solar damage from this Mel. It is easy enough for T1. Peyz legendary, an ace in the hole, blocked by Faker. Oner looking to try and turn off On. But in the end, the mid lane push is all that T1 need.
It looks like it is going to be the clap back. T1 with that one, they just blow it out of the water. 8,000 the gold lead, should be a Baron as well. I mean, Peyz just has so much damage on the Mel. That was a fight on 2 fronts, as Oner and Peyz were able to win the top side.
They kind of need the TP to come in sharpish as we're both falling low to the Baron. Keria pushing mid while the Baron begun by his team, but T1 at 22 minutes are going to have an 8,000, almost 8,500 gold lead when this Baron falls. And for BLG, I mean, it feels impossible to get back in this game. You are thinking about Game 5. You're thinking about what happened at Worlds in 2024.
So look at this. You've got Keria and Faker on the bottom side, and they're trying to deal with Bin. They finish up the kill there. And then top side, even with Oner getting suppressed, they have so much hit with the Peyz. They just burst down Shun, and Doran's able to get the ulti onto Knight, keep him up to the other side, and they get the exit kill plus the flash. I think that's got to clean it up. No flash on the Aurora either. T1 snowball is getting out of control.
It really is, and you have to give credit to their bot lane. Peyz 9-1-2 on this Mel, Keria 2-0-8 on this Pyke. It has been by their powers combined that this game has gone so pear-shaped for BLG. Looks like an engage onto Oner. There's the weirding, there's the ace in the hole, there's the impale, and there's the kill. A shutdown going over tonight.
Every comeback starts with a shutdown, I feel like. That is a good one. Directly into Knight. All right, the Aurora with the double buffs, with the extra gold. He hasn't gone back to spend it yet, of course. And T1 still have such a massive gold lead, but teleport from BLG. They want to make the play.
Shun goes in, a great bone skewer from Keria to push Shun out of the wall. Knight coming in with the weirding onto Peyz as well, who tries to rocket belt away. Meanwhile, Doran's trading with Bin. Peyz getting chased down. A golden eclipse will make it a 1-for-1. Keria with the Phantom Undertow will go in and they'll take out Bin. Now a 3v3. Faker with the Spirit Rush forward, looking for a little bit more, but On and Viper are on the retreat. The charm doesn't connect as they turn it around now. Viper doesn't have a huge amount of damage in his backpack, but he can still chip away at T1's health bars. The stun from Keria with the flash, and they'll manage to catch out On. Viper now needs to step up for BLG, but in the end, just a 1-for-1 between the supports.
Oh my goodness, BLG, they wanted to take advantage of the moment where they have the extra champion on the Rift. They teleport for the play, flanking on both sides here. Double teleport, and they have eyes on Peyz. They need to get that shutdown. Knight starts it out. Look how much damage Peyz is able to get. He hits the snare, into the Q, boom. That's what it's going to take with the R. And even though they do get their shutdown onto Peyz, he gets the counter kill. Shutdown money actually went into Skarner. That is not ideal for BLG. Then Faker wanted to keep it interesting here. He doesn't hit that actual charm. Very close to Shun, but uses extra charge to go back in. And then Keria tries to get real fancy here. Use the ultimate into the flash to get the pull into the charm. And yeah, they do get the support trades, but Keria spent a lot in order to set that up. No flash for him now.
He's looking to see if he could catch out Viper on that Caitlyn, and now he's doing the same in the mid lane as he goes for the bone skewer. T1 going to secure the soul for themselves as Peyz and Oner are able to do that just as a duo. The reset was stopped for Viper, who has gone Lord Dominic's Regard's second item, which is not something we too commonly see on the Caitlyn. Still an item advantage across the board for T1, apart from Doran, who is even with Bin.
I mean, Viper is so far down. Yeah, he's trying to...
Yeah, he's scavenging.
Yeah, looking for some money anywhere. And T1, here comes the rest. They're keeping Bin split pushing, though, at the moment. So Bin still farming away down there. The Gwen was brought fully back under control, as we have seen this before, where... Wait a second. Okay, not going to go for the full engage, but...
And look at that extra movement speed on Keria, though. Getting that soul, the MasterCard priceless moment of the game for T1. Keria can just be everywhere. The rest of the team as well, obviously, incredibly fast, but Keria is the one that you have to keep your eyes on. That Umbral Glaive denying vision. Doran now resetting to answer Bin's push in the top side. The Baron up in 2 minutes' time. For T1, it feels like their siege not quite there. It's much more of a pick comp. They need people to step out a little bit further so they can catch them, and then they can push in with a numbers advantage, whereas if they're just sieging 5v5, can't quite take down these inhibitor towers.
Yeah, they have a lot of map to work with, though. Keria here with the Umbral Glaive, constantly taking away the BLG vision, and so you have a lot of area to make those picks with. That is the benefit, and Cloud Soul move speed is very nice in getting into position for those picks. Now, you're probably going to have to wait for the next Baron to come up, but already you see they're going to clean out the entire jungle here, leading over to the Baron, T1R, and then they're going to look to set that up. BLG, the critical part is, do you want to swap over to more Scryer's trinkets to have more blue trinkets to use to make your way over to contest the Baron fight? Because currently they only have Vipers, and it's pretty difficult to walk into this T1 team. I mean, they just have so much CC, so many pick tools that you've gone over, but the vision checking going to be difficult either way.
Knight 2 levels down on Doran. Even Bin 2 levels down on Doran. They've been so shut out of the game. T1 done a great job of making sure that Bin could not accelerate that 2,000 gold lead that he had. And Faker with the charm here on Tashun, just showing him that he can more than anything else, looking for that little bit of extra damage. As you say, the push in from T1 just set up for this Baron. No vision at all for BLG outside of basically their base, apart from a single ward that shows them that T1's Grump is up, which I don't think is the most pertinent piece of information for them right now. They haven't had the opportunity to step outside the 3 walls of protection, 2 walls, I guess, of their base, and T1 on spawn will look towards the Baron.
Yeah, here it is, and they've got Viper's blue trinket. That is their tool to check. Shun's going to try and face check, but even that is a little dangerous. They're trying to take down the controller. He does get one of them. Doran comes over to lend to his help as well.
Doesn't land the hook onto On, who flashes, gets the cocoon immediately onto Peyz, but the follow-up just isn't quite there. Great Pale. Peyz is down. BLG find life from nothing. They find blood from a stone as Peyz goes down, and now T1, all hail the retreat. The cocoon again onto Keria. Build over Peacemaker there for the follow-up, but Baron now in BLG's eyes.
What an incredible play from On and Shun. They find the pressure onto Peyz, and now BLG, they're trying to make more.
Cocoon wide from On, goes it with the repel. Faker in with a charm, looking for the damage onto Shun, takes him down to half. Keria low as well, Oner at a third. BLG, it could be the one moment you really have an advantage in this game. Another charm from Faker lands onto Knight, who jumps away across the veil, tries to hide in the darkness of his jungle, but T1 able to stop BLG's Baron advance, and because of that, can turn their attention straight towards it.
And Peyz is about to get up.
Yeah, Doran's just making sure they don't get the resets.
He has teleport. Peyz is about to get up and he has teleport, so he's going to teleport over to the Baron. That's going to be T1's now.
It took so much from BLG, a great flash cocoon from On to find Peyz. But when you are this far behind, you have to capitalize, and T1 will not let you do that. You do not win this game unless they are all dead. T1 show exactly what they can do. Obviously, in this situation, so advantageous to them, but there was a moment there, a brief glimmer of doubt that you heard around the arena that BLG maybe had fought back.
BLG, they did their best. Nice pick from them on the key player. However,
Faker, hallowed miss, charm goes wide as the skip and slash comes out from Bin. Doran with a good path maker though will lock him up. Elder Drake in a minute's time. Baron remains on T1 for the next 2.5.
I know he keeps stressing that it's a team game, Medic, but Doran now passing the Gwen after the early stages.
It was 2K behind it.
In CS and Gold. Doran has been able to bide his time, and he is the tank that T1 need. Now T1 with the Baron buff and the Dragon Soul looking for more. They invade again, it's 35 seconds to the Elder Dragon. Again, it's a similar game plan. Elder Dragon comes, you set up around it, look for a pick.
On goes up with the repel, comes back down in a relatively safe spot. 7,000 gold the lead for T1, flashes up across the board as well. Only Oner lacks his. On also without the luxury of that summoner spell. Shun 2 for BLG. Drake up in 10 seconds time. Bin has pushed through top. It's Faker to answer without TP, importantly. Still half the cooldown on that. BLG do have a window if they've tracked that timer. They could look to force a 4v5. Keria in base as well would be 5v3 right now. TP by Bin towards the bottom lane. Faker working his way down from the top side. The red buff, the first target. Cocoon comes out. Good rebuttal. Good rebuttal from Peyz. Stops the possibility of an engage from BLG.
Yeah, that poke damage on Elise, that sticks. That is going to be painful for On for this Dragon fight. He's wrapping around. Faker pushing mid though. T1 applying that pressure mid while the rest of them wrap around.
And Keria finds the bone skewer onto Knight. Oner puts the standard down. No vision at the moment for T1 in the middle of the pit, but they're just going to step forward and get vision themselves.
Faker rotating
still not here, does have the TP, Elder down to 10k. Faker on vision, BLG trying to step forward, but Oner and Doran are just too tanky. Faker with the Spirit Rush can go across the wall, good double impale, but that's on the tanks, the Cataclysm going in. Oner almost falling, Knight down already though as Peyz finds it. T1 eating them alive in the river. You will take this series out of their cold, dead hands. T1 take us to 5.
What an epic series here. They're going to even it up. It will be 2-2. T1 at the Elder Dragon. They take the team fight, and they're going to push for the Nexus.
BLG fought valiantly, but in the end, T1's early game, the pressure they enacted through the bot lane was enough to keep BLG at bay. When these two teams meet, we are always guaranteed a banger. And this time is no different. Bring on Silver Scrapes.
Oh my goodness, what a deciding game we're gonna have ahead of us. This game 5, deep into Fearless, all of the pressure on. And Faker just takes another sip, all right.